Hello, everybody. Welcome back to yet another episode of Embers in the Ashes. So good to be back. So excited for this because I know there's going to be excellent roleplay. I'm so excited for excellent roleplay. Anyway, I'm going to hand it off to Nathan. Nathan, go for it.
What's happening, everybody? I'm Nathan. I use he, him pronouns, and I will be the GM, or as you just saw from the slideshow that was so wonderfully put together by our host Saevrick, the narrative or narrator. I actually like that a little bit better than GM. I'm not a master of anything, so I dig narrator. So I'll probably go by that from now on. But anyway, back to Embers in the Ashes. Um, Thank you for joining us tonight. I am the narrator for this wonderful show and these wonderful group of people. We are going to be doing a downtime episode again, where we go through the mechanics of after they just got done with another score. I will let the crew introduce themselves, and then we'll go back over a little bit of what happened this last time. The last score was a lot to take in, and I want to make sure we're all on the same page and before we move into our downtime activities. So, but once again, thank you for joining us and for hanging out with us for a couple hours. We appreciate it. Hannah, do you wanna jump in and tell them who you are and who you're playing?
My name is Hannah. I use she, her pronouns. My character is Miss Fritter, also uses she, her pronouns. She is a lunch lady. Or is she? And that's who I'm playing tonight.
All right, next, Duval.
Yo. Hey, everybody. Jacob here. I play Jason, the Eyes Datuminu. Both of us use he, him pronouns, and he's got a new item to play with. Just so happens to also be a living, breathing human being.
All right, and Shauna.
Hey, I'm Shauna. She, her pronouns, and I'm playing Miss Corbin, also she, her, who is a mild-mannered solicitor by day, cold-hearted criminal at night.
Absolutely. And last, certainly not least, our wonderful host, Saevrick.
Hi, I'm Saevrick, or Josh, whichever you want to call me. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing Preacher, also he, him, who is the group's whisperer. So I'm the spooky ghost talker person. And make very idle threats that I never back up because I am kind of a wuss. So
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that.
So
Our score, our score last time started with the leader of the Lamp Blacks, Bazo Baz, coming to our solicitor, asking for her help in retrieving some investment that he had put into a place called Vren's Racehound Track. Vren was an out-of-towner that came in and ended up finding out that he had taken about 100 coin or so, 150 coin or so in people's investment money, including several nobles and the Lampblacks and their arch enemies, the Crows. So our team was tasked to go in, find some money, either get the money flowing back to Bazabaz or get a large chunk back to repay some of that debt. Our team did very well in the engagement and scored some upper box seats by impersonating some other people in the racehound track. They watched a few races and proceeded to make their way to see Master Vren, who was, unbeknownst to them at the time, planning his daring escape. Vren had actually just sold, or kind of sold, agreed to sell the racetrack to a group from Scotland that morning, and was leaving with all the money they could handle, not telling their investors or anything, just planning to take off, and had actually sent a bunch of their stuff ahead of time. Our group captured Vren, snuck him out in a duffel bag, I believe is how it actually went, brought him back for questioning, and that's a question mark on the end of that questioning, some terror-filled questioning, and eventually got Vren to agree to sign over the racetrack to them, and in exchange for his life. He was then escorted where he was going to be escorted away, or to the Gaddock Teague rail station in order to leave. But our good friend Eyes made him another deal, basically to stay here in Dustfall for a little bit and become Eyes's contacts to nobles and certain people within Duskwall. And Vren agreed to do that on agreement of that, basically that he would be let live and let go at some point in time. So kind of a cowardly way to do it, but Vren is a coward in very heart. So then our group went back to Bazobaz, gave him some money, and basically about half of the money that it was supposed to be. And was it y'all's understanding that Bazo was now out, or was it your understanding that this was the first payment and he would continue to be a stakeholder in the Hound Track? Because I don't think that was clear, and I want to understand from y'all's intent what the intent was.
I think we want him out.
You want him out?
No, so I wrote down that we were going to give him 4 coin. Fritter fronted the 4 coin that we gave him, and then we were also going to give him a cut of future profits.
Okay, so he would still stay in.
Yes,
that's fine.
Okay, I thought it was until he broke even and then he was out.
I think that is yes. I think that's right.
Yes, but
that's what I mean.
Mechanically, so let's move into that very quickly. Mm-hmm. So, fully unplanned by the narrator, the story took a turn, and now my second score group has a racetrack that's all theirs. Yay! Wasn't planning on that, but hey, best stuff never is planned. So let's talk about that a little bit. What I think is going to happen here, because none of you want to give up your day jobs or your night jobs to run this place. I think you have the ability to use the Hive to manage it, which is the Hive is a group. They're a group of they manage properties, they manage merchandise. Their merchandise here, they kind of understand that game a little bit, and I think it's very easy for you to basically let them manage it for a cut. That one gets it out of y'all's hair, and 2, story-wise, won't affect anything about. It's not going to take away anything from you all as players. Again, if we're in the world, it's totally different, but we're not. So we want to still have fun with the other excursions. So I think what we'll do is I'll introduce a few characters as we go through, and you can basically they get into the pool of NPCs that you can gain from. One of which is someone like Roland, who is the head bartender at the bar there at Vren's. There is the person that will be managing Vren's for the Hive. There's a few others that we can introduce. You basically throw them into the NPC pool. And then I think basically after the cut of the nobles and the crows and the lamp blacks, we will, at the end of the score, we'll roll a d6. And that's the amount of coin you all will split for that month's take. I think that's simple, but still rewards you all for doing this. What are your thoughts on that?
Totally game.
Works for me.
Okay.
Good for me.
Okay. Hannah, you cool with that? Okay. And then if you buy out other people's interest, like if you bought out the crow's interest or the lamp black's interest or the noble's interest, then we'll up that to something else. We'll continue to up that, because you got to think, again, they're making so much profit, then you have to split it amongst all their investors, and then you all get what's left over. So
are they like an angel investor, or are they like a long-term investor?
I'm sorry, totally not for me and for the people at home. What does that mean?
An angel investor would just mean that they intend to get their initial investment back plus interest, and a long-term investor means they intend to actually reap
I got you.
Profits over time.
So I think the noble investors are angel investors with a small amount of interest that doesn't really matter. But I believe that Bazobaz and Lissa of the Crows were long-term.
Okay.
Because storyline, that's what is the coolest.
Okay.
So selfishly,
theoretically, you're only going to have to deal with those 2 people,
right?
Potentially
Yes,
having to buy them out.
Absolutely, okay. Yeah. So storyline will only have to deal with those 2 people because they're other named NPCs, and that's how stories go. So again, that's how it is. All right, so we'll introduce some of those people later, no big deal, but you definitely will have them in your retinue of NPCs. Let's go through the downtime actions. And for those playing at home, we appreciate you all joining us and kind of watching over what we're doing. Hopefully this makes sense. And if you haven't played Blades in the Dark, it's really easy. Everything's set up into a session mode, and then there's downtime that is totally separate, with separate rules and everything, where we go through basically what happened. So we'll go through Mark XP first. On your individual character sheets under character mode, I have looked. No one rolled any desperate rolls this last time, so you don't get to mark one there. But each of you will get 3 XP points that you can either put into playbook advancement or into an individual attribute, insight, prowess, or resolve. So wherever you want to put those 3 flags, you can get those. Those are your individual XP.
Dokie.
And then under crew, for crew XP, I want to talk this one through because I think it's the group, and so it makes more sense to do that. So you get an XP for each one of these. Did you execute a successful espionage, sabotage, or theft operation? I think that's 2. You got Vryn from the track, and then you stole the frickin' track from Vryn. If that's not 2, I don't know what is. So that's
kidnapping and property theft.
Yeah, there you go.
Acquisitions.
Right, acquisitions.
Legal.
Acquisitions is so much better phrase. So you acquired 2 things. That's good. All right, so that's gonna be 2. Contend with challenges above your station. I think that's another one. 3, you're just beginning, so everything's kind of above your station. And this definitely puts you in above. So bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one. We don't have the crew as having a reputation, and we didn't after the first one. But now that we've done the second one, do you have a one-line description of what you think the crew's reputation would be? Does anyone have?
Fuck shit up.
Or ambitious, I think is a.
Yeah. Like
of the ones that were in there, I think that fits us.
Ambitious.
Ambitious.
Yeah,
so let's put ambitious. I think that's an ample describe. And then Hannah, you're certainly welcome to put whatever you want behind that as your own personal tag, to how you feel that plays out. And so ensuing with that, I'm sorry. It's at the top under crew mode. It's at the very top by the crew's name. It says reputation.
Oh, okay.
Ambitious. So with that, that'll be 4. That's another one because you all were certainly ambitious. And then express the goals, drives, inner conflict, and essential nature of the crew. This is to me is, did you act like a crew? Did you think about each other? Did you put the crew first? That kind of stuff. So I think that's definitely 1. So I think that's 5. Anybody have a problem or issue with that? No? Okay.
That's wonderful.
That sounds
okay.
great.
So then we'll mark 5 flags. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have you at 8 flags out of 10. When you get to 10 flags, which will be after the next one, you'll either get to do 1 or 2 cool things. You get to choose a new special ability for the crew, or you'll get to choose 2 boxes under the crew upgrades that you can choose, kind of like we did when we started all this. So those are, you get to choose one or the other. So that'll be next time. Don't worry about that. All right. Next is payoff for reputation. The base is 2, and then you get +1 for dealing with a higher tier. There wasn't a higher tier because Vryn was on his own. So I think we're just going to stick with 2 for reputation. So there under layer, we're going to click 2 for the flags, which will leave you at 5. When, just as a reminder, when the reputation gets filled up, you move tiers. Basically, you become a bigger gang. You move from weak to strong, and then you move up into tier, which allows you to get cohorts and just be a bigger gang. So it's cool. Next thing is coin. So let's talk this one through because this is a weird one. Yes, Bazo was supposed to pay you 4 coin. But Fritter fronted Bazo 4 coin to pay him for a down payment on his interest. So money-wise, you basically come out even, but But we said that Vryn had a little bit of cash, a coin that he had kept. And I think it's very, very likely that Eyes found out about that. And would Eyes have asked him for that cash? Because he mentioned he would give you all cash if you'd let him leave.
Yeah, next time he goes by to check on him, just a bit of hey, about that thing that last time.
Yeah. So the Vryn you notice now when you go to check on him, and you stored him away in some flea-ridden place that where he'd be scared to leave, and maybe even in Crowsfoot, so that Fritter's kids could kind of watch after him without him knowing. So could be there. So I think you see a different Vryn. He has put on the look of someone older using your disguise kit and is trying to act a little more feeble. Still the eyes though are nervous and twitchy. But he's definitely done this before. This is not his first time with a disguise kit. And I think he was probably maybe having a few drinks. He's bored to tears, kind of sitting around waiting, counting up all the money he had in his head. And you come in, and he's kind of tapping on his side, drinking. Basically says, my savior arrives.
I'm just kind of like looking at him, leaning a little bit.
He stands up and does the twirl and lets you look him over.
Oh, looks like, good. Looks good.
This is something I've done before. Yes, I don't enjoy doing it, but I've done it before.
Oh, that's good. So it's not something that makes you uncomfortable. That's good to know.
No. Taking on a different persona is not something I shy away from.
Smart. Have you thought of a new name?
Yes, I think I'm going to try Sanders for a bit. Sanders. Yes, no?
I was thinking more like something a little simpler, like Snick.
Snick.
Yeah.
He kind of wrinkles his nose.
Yeah.
Snick.
Yeah, you can even hold it if you hold the S just a little bit.
Snick.
Yeah.
Snick.
Yep. Yeah.
Snick. He tries different. He's trying to do different,
different.
Feel
the inflection. Yeah. It's yours, baby. Yeah, of course.
So let us discuss our agreement. You let me live, which I very much appreciate. I thank you for that. But a lifetime of this is no thing.
Of course. It's all temporary, baby.
Why don't we set a time and a day? I'll be yours until that time. And then after that, you let me leave.
Okay. But first, Thai food? And I reach down and I just get a bunch of Thai and kind of sit it on the ground and maybe even like I'm kind of like I'll have a sit on the floor and move away some of the flea droppings and pass it around. Business. I was worried. I didn't. If you weren't getting enough nourishment, you can't be mine if you die of starvation, can you?
No. That would not do at all.
Yeah.
So, I have what? How long are you thinking, Kara? How long do you want to hold me?
Well, that's going to depend on you because I really only need one thing. And it's just really all depends on how long it's going to take you to find it out for me. I just need a location of someone.
You need the location of someone?
Yep. Mm-hmm. She used to go by Darlene. I don't think she does anymore. But she has we're acquainted. We used to be. She has something of mine that I wish to get returned, if you catch my drift.
Yes.
So now, just to give you some background, I've been trying to do this for over a year. So you will be under. Oh, keep me in mind. I'm gonna give you your space. You get to walk around and be the snaky snake that you can be, as long as it makes sense. But when you find this information out and you let me know, and as long as it matches up, you're free to go. But let me be very clear about something. And I take out my long cane sword and spin it, and take out the big dagger, put it to the side. If it comes to be false, we are going to have a few problems. And you're not going to like what happens next, because you're going to have... I'll probably flip a coin. Either I kill you or the lunch lady is going to kill you. I haven't decided yet. So...
he visibly blanches at that.
I mean, and you know she exists,
Yeah,
so
big gulp.
You know I'm not fucking around.
I'll find this person. Do not. There's no need for further threats and violence. I'll find it. As a little show. Let me do this. Let me do this for you. You will let me walk around. If you'll let me go and get the coin that I have stashed here, I'll split it with you.
Interesting.
I just need some walking around money, pay some bribes, talk to people, be able to do what I need to do. And I know you have people watching me, and he kind of looks around. I know you have people watching me. Allow me to go get that. A little bit of money means nothing to me in the end when I'm able to leave here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get...
And even if I didn't, your paranoia is enough, so don't worry.
Sounds good. All right. So that scene fades out, and within a few days, he drops by. You come to him. He doesn't drop it by to you. You come to him, and he agrees to pay you all 5 coin, which is half of what he had gotten. When we said he had 10, you all get 5. So that'd be for the group. You tell me how you want to split that up.
I wasn't sure I was going to tell anybody about that arrangement.
If this money comes to you, so you tell me what you do.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to keep it to myself.
Okay. All right, so you have the 5. So the group gets paid nothing this time.
This is true.
Next is heat. And this is basically who saw you do what's going on, the blue coats, did they get involved, things like that. So we're going to call this at 3 heat. It was contained with standard exposure. No one got hurt. No one got, none of the guards were even called. But because Vren is a higher value target, or people know of him, people may start to put together 2 and 2 that they saw a group of you all up there, and now Vren has disappeared. So it's going to be 3 heat. So that will bring you all to 6 heat. When you get 10 heat, you get a wanted level, and that means the blue coats get to basically mess with you every chance they get. And as that wanted level goes up, they get to mess with you more and more. So it's wise to kind of look at that and try to bring that down by someone too. All right.
Wait, so this is our 4th heat, right?
No. So you got 3 this time, and you got 3 last time.
Oh, 3 additional heat.
3 additional.
Sorry.
Yes, sorry.
Got it. No, I understand
so
what you
you
said.
should be 6 heat. Okay. Entanglements. So we're going to roll again for the entanglement. I'm going to roll, and let's see what we come up with. We'll roll a d6. You all have a wanted level of basically 0, so we're going to call it the first group, which means 1 through 3 is gang trouble or usual suspects. 4 and 5 is rivals or unquiet dead, and 6 is cooperation. What did I roll? I rolled a 6. God, everything's coming up you all. Everything's coming up you all at this point in time.
Everything's coming up Millhouse.
Cooperation. A +3 status faction asks you for a favor. Agree to do it or forfeit 1 rep per tier with the friendly faction or lose 1 status with them. Let's look. Do you all have a +3? No. All right, so I'll let you all decide. In a long-term game, we would probably just push this off because it's a shorter-term game. We want to jump in as many problems as we can. Do you all want another faction to come in here and ask you all for a favor, ask you all to do something? What it'll be is sometime during next score, I'll bring it up either in a flashback or during the score where they'll ask for something.
Yes, I think that sounds very interesting.
Okay.
+1. Absolutely.
Yes.
All right, I will do that then. I think that sounds good. They're going to ask you for
as
something
difficult as possible.
Right. I think that's the fun of the game. All right, now we get to some interesting parts. Again, that's all kind of just taking care of some business. So now it's the fun part, and that is the downtime actions. This is also where, as so pointed out last week, by the way, Bonnie, if you're listening to that, and listening to this right now, we thank you so much for doing the live tweet, and absolutely love that. We love everyone who has tweeted and retweeted and hung out with us and said something. It's amazing to see and watch. So we thank you very much. But so for downtime activities, and this can also include individual talks that you all want to have between characters, a group, or whatever you all want to do. This narratively can happen whenever and wherever you want. Does anyone have an initial downtime activity that they want to start with? Everybody gets 2 unless you pay a coin or have a special ability, and you can get 3.
I do, but since I just had a scene, I want somebody else to go first.
Yep. Thank you.
I'm just going to be continuing one from last time. So.
Okay. Do you want to? Let's start there. So, which one are you going to continue with your clock, with your long-term clock?
Yes, the Mysteries of the Mask.
Okay. So, real quick to catch us up, what is this long-term project you're working on? Mysteries of the Mask.
Well, in our first score, we came across some various artifacts, and one of them called the Preacher, a little bit heavier than the rest did. Sort of gave a glimpse into either the past or things at least related to Preacher. He's been fairly enamored with it from that point on. He actually offered himself to it last downtime, if I remember correctly, just to try to figure out what it is. Was not successful at that, of course, but we progressed a little bit further into understanding of it. But he has been thinking of it ever since then as well, even through this last score. So,
all right. So for long-term actions, long-term projects, each person will pick out what attribute or skill they want to use for that, and will roll, and according to whatever that roll is how many ticks on the clock they get. You're going to get a bonus one this time because you were already working on this before, and it kind of makes sense that you're not picking up fresh from the start. So what are you using to roll for this? Are you studying? Are you attuning to the mask? Are you studying about the mask? I'm talking to someone? You could literally use whatever.
I am attuning to it.
Attuning? Okay.
Yeah, I just bumped my attune up with my XP this time, so
okay.
Give us a little bit of extra push this time.
All right. So let's roll it up.
Okay. And you said get 1 extra die?
Yep, get 1 extra die because you're already working on this. A 6. So a 6 will be 3 portions of your clock. What were you on, a 4, 6, or 8 turn clock?
I was on a 6.
6, and how many do you have filled up now?
6.
You have 6.
I do.
All right. So tell us what happens with this as Preacher comes into this apartment right below Fritter and finally unlocks what it is that he has been looking to search for.
I think we would really go back to that same apartment as well, because the whole energy, the whole vibe of it, with the crimson mess all over the floor still.
Absolutely.
With the protection circle drawn around him, because there's apparently some apparition that wants something from me still. I don't really want to be harassed during that time. But again, takes the shirt off. And these tattoos once again begin to align and lock together as best they can. And the old scars begin to bleed as if fresh and new down his back. He would reach out to it, cupping it in his hands and just staring at it. One time I had offered everything that I was to you, just to see what secrets lay veiled behind all this. And again, I offer everything I ever was, ever will be, if you can just let me see. And I think with that, he'll press it to his face. And I would like to think that, and I'm sorry if I take some narrative liberties here, but I would say like this thing would like lock around his head, like chains sprouting from the sides of it and interlocking into his scalp, just holding this mask to his face. And Preacher would be down and screaming, his eyes turning pale, almost ghostly, as these visions begin to flicker and take over all of his presence.
Yeah, inside Preacher's head, he is screaming, but there is no voice coming out. The pale eyes see nothing of the world that is currently, and only see what was. And running back, your image flashes of gates and of darkness and anger and hate, and of rage at being locked out of what the job that this entity was supposed to be doing. And you hear in your head, "Why do you call the Father of the Abyss?"
Are you the one that has hold over my family?
No, I hold no one anymore.
I don't know what it is I have to do to rid myself of whatever damned creature or entity or spirit that plagues us. But I will give everything that I am to you freely, if you can help me.
It is welcomed. And that's where the scene fades.
I would like to add just a little bit more to that, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, go for it.
And I think with that, Preacher would draw the knife across his hand and spill the fresh demon blood that's in his veins, or this, at least he feels or is in his veins, and just press it into the mask. This is almost like feeding it.
Yeah. I think the blood doesn't fall down as it normally would. It runs in rivulets that you can't see with the naked eye within the mask itself. And soon you see this blood run all the way around, even against gravity, and move up to your forehead as it fills in these small, tiny rivulets all over the mask. And the last thing that the thing says to you is, "Satara." All right. So we'll talk about what that happens next and where you go from here. But yeah, that's a little fun twist. All right. Who's next? Next fun, uplifting downtime action for everyone chilling out and de-stressing, of course.
This is my de-stressing.
Shauna, you've been quiet. What do you got going on? What's Miss Corbin doing?
Oh. Well, she's very happy with the new arrangement we have with the hive taking over the managerial duties day to day, but we still have to put out fires. People seen things, say things, so she's going to find a blue coat, one that she knows is pliable and is willing to do a bit of off duty, off the books work. Officer Conway,
Okay.
who is one of the officers that regular beat is night market.
All right. Officer Conway is standing out in front of one of the local watering holes, probably giving someone grief, looking for some payout or bribe or to move on, but is giving the local owner grief about something. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't take much. Do you know Officer Conway before? Does Ms. Corbin know Officer Conway, or are you meeting him for the first time?
Oh, for the first time.
As Miss Corbin comes up, he kind of puts his hand on his billy club and says, move along. There's what, unless you have business here.
Oh, I do. She's in her full solicitor outfit. She has her case.
Okay.
And some briefs. It's like, oh, I had some questions specifically for you about a case I'm working on behalf of a client of mine.
Well, then go see the investigators. That's what they do. I handle the laws out here. The investigators are the one that they do the crimes and you know that kind of stuff.
Oh, they sent me to you specifically.
Okay.
Oh, this is a matter of privacy. Like, come over here, if you wouldn't mind.
I think he steps closer to you, and I guess peers whatever paperwork that you have. And it's like, so what? Let's be about this, so I can move on. I have busy things.
Yes. Well, take a look at this one.
Okay.
It's fabricated paperwork for eyewitnesses.
Okay. So what is it that you're trying? What is this downtime action? Is this reduction of heat?
This is reduction of heat.
Okay.
This is mostly since our previous one didn't necessarily come up against the law.
Mm-hmm.
This is more of putting the focus back on the race for their previous thing. Eyewitnesses of seeing them around.
Okay.
For things that we did.
Absolutely. All right, let's have a roll and see how Officer Conway responds.
Okay, that is all right.
If you have any pluses for falsifying for paperwork or anything like that, I'm not sure if you have any equipment for that.
Oh, the paperwork is mostly just. This is just to get him
right
viable at this moment. So yeah, we'll let the paperwork be sometime later.
Okay.
All right. So that is a consort.
Consort sounds good.
Now just see.
Again, as you all are rolling this, you can do risky and standard on all these for the rolls. No reason to have any other effect. We're basically just trying to get rolls numbers. So. All right, Miss Corbin's rolling.
Up to.
So. Reduce heat basically says mark. Reduce heat according to result level. 1 through 3 is 1, 4 to 5 is 2, 6 is 3, and a crit's 5. So he says, he kind of looks at you, goes, yeah, you got some paperwork, and I okay, thank you for that, but I don't really even deal with that kind of stuff. Again, it's the investigators that have to do that, but I can definitely pass it along that you think it might be them.
Of course.
All right. So
And she'll pass. There will be like a nominal amount of money.
yeah,
Like,
oh yeah,
fill in
you
there.
can't do anything with the blue coats without paying them. So this is a pocket bribe to basically make them. Now, again, if you'd like to use an actual coin, you can push up the level.
Well,
That's always an option, but
we're not
I'm not
quite
sure
there
that's
yet.
worth it in this.
Yeah,
instance.
we're not quite there yet with him.
All right. So this will be a reduction of 1 heat marker under crew mode.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to go from 6 to 5. So everyone make sure you mark that. So now you all have 5 heat instead of 6. All right, that's cool.
Okay, I have a blue coat.
Yep, add blue coat
Contact.
Officer Conway. All right, who's next? Eyes or Fritter?
Where do you go first?
I'm happy to go. That's fine. I'm just updating my character sheet. So downtime action. Fritter would like to take her downtime action, her first one, to follow up on her long-term project, which is finding Ezekiah. I believe
Hezekiah.
is what we called him.
Yep.
Ezekiah. And at last she worked on this project. She has the address and his last known address.
And that was in Charter Hall, I believe.
Yeah.
He was in Charter Hall and then left mysteriously. Great student.
Yes.
Really loved some of the subjects, but end up leaving halfway through, like the last semester or one of the last semesters.
Yeah. It noted specifically a high aptitude in the spiritual arts.
It did note that.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Down. So
That's weird.
it's
like it's in the blood.
I know. So she's gonna take a stroll.
Mm-hmm.
She's never quite alone, even though she may appear to be.
Absolutely.
And she's gonna go knock on a door.
Okay. Are you going to the apartment or the residence where he used to be, or?
So I don't know how much liberty you want me to take with this.
You do what you do.
That she's had the block scouted since she got that address. She's just had people casually scouting out the area, and they reported back to her about activity in that apartment.
Okay. So they would come back that it seems like it's typical college age kid, multiple people living there, all kind of in and out, sometimes partying, sometimes studying, doing whatever they do, kind of atmosphere. Nothing of note from the outside that they can see. The person who actually lives there goes by the name Banner. That's all you know.
Great.
Would you like to speak with Banner? Is that what this is?
Is it plausible that she recognizes or knows them through her lunch ladiness?
Let's make a fortune roll.
Let's do it.
Let's make a fortune roll. So everybody has the ability to make fortune rolls. Let's see what happens. So I think this is 1 through 3, no. 4 to 5, you do know of them, and 6, you have encountered or talked to or looked after this person before.
So it's just 1d6?
Yep, 1d6. Just pure fortune. Let's see what happens.
4.
So you, the name Banner doesn't ring a bell. He sounds like he's going off of a middle name or something like that. You know him as Bannerington or some one long-winded name. He was a noble's son who one of the noble families that came upon hard times and visited from time to time and found themselves in a place where they didn't need to be and stuck out like a sore thumb in crow's foot, and basically never really fit in. But you know that the somehow one of the parents lost their money And that's why he was basically kicked out. That they passed on, and then the other parent came back into the picture, and he left Crow's Foot, basically never to be seen again in that area. So he kind of went back to Uptown in Charter Hall or in one of the other Whitestone or one of the other regions. But you do know, you recognize the face.
Fabulous. So we're just gonna go knock on a door.
Okay.
And when Banner, the unwashed miscreant that he is, opens the door, hopefully recognizing her. If not, that's okay. We'll improvise. She will effectively like reach up and just grab his hair and just like straighten it. It could have been straight already. It doesn't matter. She's going to straighten it. And then she's going to say, "You should walk with me."
Banner looks and does recognize you. He's got that look like I know you, but I don't know where I know you from or how I know you, but I do know you. And look like he just woke up, like you're pounding on the door, made him come to the door. So you definitely needed to straighten his hair. He's in some loose pants and a light shirt. And he's like, okay, what is this about? Am I in trouble? I mean, I just had people over last night, I know, but then my studies are not going like they should be, but it'll be okay. I'll bring them up. I'll bring them up. Like what?
Grab your coat. Walk with me.
My coat? I'm walking my coat? Okay. All right. You know what? Okay, sure. Fine. Grabs a coat. Very nice, stylish coat. Probably costs a good amount of money, and slips it on. It's a little too big for him, but he proceeds to put it on and then walk out the door behind you, kind of catch up. So you said, are you from the school? Are you from
I have
Mom?
questions for you, and I want you to be honest with me. And I'm sure you can recall what happens when you're not honest with me. So, do you know, either on the block or in your studies, a boy that they call or used to go by the name Ezekiah?
So let's roll a roll and see what happens.
Okay. What do you want me to roll?
You tell me, what are you using to do this? Is this
wreck? I'm gonna wreck his day. I don't know. What do you want me to use?
Wreck it, Fritter.
Yeah, that's love it. So, command. You could be commanding him to do this. You could be consorting with him and trying to call back to when you were nice to him. You can be lying to him with sway. You could probably study his reaction.
I think she's definitely being intimidating and threatening. So I think command is a great option.
All right. You don't have to be loud to be commanding, and I think Fritter definitely puts off major command energy. So
yeah,
all right,
big dick energy. Is it controlled or desperate?
It is risky is fine.
Risky, okay, that's fine. And then standard effect.
Yes.
Fabulous. And then do I get a?
You get a bonus. No, you get a bonus because the fortune roll showed that you know.
I got a 6. Oh, but I got a 1.
No, but the 6 is the only thing that matters. So it doesn't matter what else you roll. He physically stops when you say the name Ezekiah, and he says, "Is he okay? Like, do you know what happened? Like he was my roommate this whole last year, and he just left, like in the middle of the night. He didn't take his stuff. He didn't take anything. He just left. Like he kept talking about the calling and going to that she kept calling to him, and he was going to fulfill his destiny. It was talk. I didn't even understand what he was coming from. He got. Should I even? Yeah. Okay. He did some really spooky stuff in his room, and like, I don't want to say something about demons, but there was definitely spirits and stuff that happened in the room, and like he was looking at things, and scrying and stuff. I stayed out of there. I've gone in his room. I haven't touched anything. They had to clean it out because I had to have someone else come in there. But like, it's super weird. He kept talking about the spirits that are damned, and the spirits that are spirits of the damned that called to him, and she was calling to him, and he literally just like woke up in the night. We're like, hey, come back. He's like, I gotta go, and walked out. I didn't. It's been months. I haven't seen him.
Where do they take his stuff?
The apartment complex. They grabbed his stuff and took it, I guess, to like the building or something. I don't know. I don't know.
So there's somebody else I need to go talk to that would know.
If you want stuff,
is.
we can. If we want stuff, if you want the stuff from it, that's fine. But you can kind of give you all the information. Okay.
Well, I mean, like in case there's anything that he's dumb and doesn't understand what he's looking at, or that I could provide to Preacher as far as like books or notebooks or something.
So I think he talks through a few things, and you basically, because with the 6, we'll carry that through. You're able to go to the apartment complex manager and tell him, hey, I'm here to pick up this stuff, and the manager goes back in his Rolodex and is pulling out the name and the apartment number, and he kind of gives a shiver. When he does, he says, thank everything that you're here. I want to get this stuff out of this room. I don't. It's.
Did anyone co-sign that lease for him? Like an emergency contact or anything like that?
He's like, let me look. As he looks, he says, looks like he was on like a scholarship of some kind. I don't know, to study here. Sometimes Charter Hall brings in scholarship kids to study if they have the aptitude for certain things. So he goes in the back, and it takes him a few minutes. You hear rattling and boxes moving and things moving, and he brings out a tote-sized box and basically says, the clothes we donated because they wouldn't last, but this is all of his actual belongings besides that. And hands them over and says, I'm glad to get rid of them. Fritter notices it's almost physically cold to the touch. Like this, there's spirit energy around these items in some way. This is not normal. Not that it's not normal stuff, but there's something in here that is aligned to the spirits.
Thank you very much for keeping these items. I do appreciate that burden. She will hesitate and then hand him one of her cards and say, if you are ever looking for residence, or if you ever need to evict anyone, or if you need assistance in any way, you can feel free to call me once.
Okay. He takes the card. He kind of looks over. Mighty handy. Okay. Thank you.
Says lunch lady, we wreck shit.
We wreck shit. I like the tag. That's very nice. Like the calligraphy there. We wreck shit. I like how that's signed. Okay.
It's gold filigree.
Well, yes. All right. So you are able to take the tote outside. It's one small tote. Looks like it's the personal belongings. If you open up and look through, it just seems like random personal belongings. But there is a chill around these items that is not supposed to be around other items. Anything else for this one?
Nope, we're good.
All right.
Do I fill in a part of my clock?
You are done with this clock, and I'll give you all the information what you need to know. Basically, when Preacher looks at this, I will connect the dots if he hasn't already, which I believe he has, on where his son is. Okay.
Thank you.
Eyes, what is your first downtime action?
I'm going to go look for Miss Fritter.
Okay. Miss Fritter, after you get back, you're able to probably, I don't know where you put the stuff. Do you keep the stuff with you until you can meet with Preacher, or do you put the stuff down in the apartment where Preacher is hanging out with the mask?
No. Preacher does not get this stuff unsupervised. That's not
okay.
Cards.
All right.
So it is definitely going to be hidden at Fritter's apartment. She's going to go through it and make sure that the dumb kid didn't miss anything. That might lead to the child's whereabouts, and then once she's convinced that there's nothing else here for her to do, she'll give it to Preacher.
Yeah, the stuff is some pictures and books and writings. There's definitely writings that stuff that is seems not maligned, like just normal poems and things college kids are write and essays and things like that. But the writings themselves give off a very creepy vibe. They seem to repeat on the regular, and maybe it was used in some other form. There are books on spirit, living with spirits, on demonology, and on some pretty dark subjects that he would have had to either take from the library or get from special permission to get. There's some pretty heavy subjects in here.
Cool beans.
All right. So where would eyes find you, Fritter?
So are we expecting this to be like within the same day?
Relatively.
Doesn't have to be.
Yeah, relatively. It's all relative.
If it's after I get back, then she's just gonna probably be sitting at her sewing machine.
Yeah, because for eyes, this would be shortly after his consort, if you will, with Snick, and he remembered a bit of the earlier conversation and needs to have a word. So he'll kind of hello.
Been expecting you.
You have?
She'll just return to her. Do you want something to drink?
Oh, I'd love some. What do you have? Perhaps.
How about champagne? I feel like celebrating.
That I'm 100% on board with. She
has very good champagne for a lunch lady whose stairs are covered with people's garments to mend. She's just got really good quality things like that. But she will absolutely take a bottle out, pop the cork, and pour you a glass.
Cheers. So, how are things, first of all?
Productive.
Good. Speaking of productive, so there's a bit of a, shall we say, predicament that I am in. So, about our mutual friend, used to go by Vren, doesn't anymore. How are you feeling about him nowadays?
In what capacity?
The capacity of whether he would like to, where you would like him to be on this mortal coil or not.
Do you know that sensation that people get when they're on the precipice of something that thrills them? And it's this moment where their breath catches in their chest and they know that something deeply satisfying is about to occur. When I consider the joy of ending his life, I'm there again.
I take a very long gulp of my champagne. Well,
but if that makes you uncomfortable or challenges your morality in some way, I have great respect for you as a person and for your own endeavors. I feel this way about most people. So this is not an isolated moment for me. I I don't have to do this, if that's what you're
Oh.
coming to talk to me about.
Well, see, that's what's interesting is I'm surprised to hear you say that it's not a unique satisfaction or sensation in this particular situation. However, I'm coming to terms with the fact that from a moral standpoint, I think that I'm okay with it. But why that is another matter all on its own. See, he's doing a job for me, but as with recompense of his current situation, that the fact that his heart is still being, not to say that not all of us are at fault, if you will, but largely I'll take a large piece of that pie, if you will. But the result of this will have him knowing a lot of compromising information about me, and I'm not sure that I'm comfortable with that piece. Now, I'm not saying that I'm asking you to do something about that, but I'm not saying it either.
I find that people you rely on have a way of disappointing you. Vren is not someone whom I expect to follow through on anything that he has promised you or has promised us. I fully anticipate betrayal and potentially having to deal with the fallout of that alignment. So I would say that if you can find some utility in the dead man, that's fine with me.
Short term, mid term, or long term?
Well, we have eyes on him at all times, so anytime that he steps out, which he does, I'm monitoring that. If I feel he does something that warrants your intervention, I will let you know first. And I will not make a move without your endorsement.
I appreciate that.
Now, I appreciate you looking out for our common interests.
I kind of tip my cap. It happens every once in a while. Sometimes just telling the truth is the right move. But at the same time, speaking of lying, I did tell him after he did this favor for me that he'd be off scot-free. I will admit I was definitely lying at the time, just giving myself that personal out. That's another thing. I think this starting to get a little hard in the heart. You know what I mean? Just like kind of coming to terms with the fact that maybe it's the right move to not really give a fuck about some of these people.
I think that you showed profound kindness for a stranger in a moment of intense emotional duress. And that is the hallmark of a complex individual. I don't think that is wrong that you felt that way or acted as you did. However, it is only pragmatic that we maintain alignments that benefit us. And if he betrays you or shows some lack of loyalty to our common interests, then we are forced to intervene. That doesn't mean that we just kill him arbitrarily for the hell of it. There are plenty of people in the world who deserve to die. This guy scamming folks out of coin isn't inherently the wrong thing.
Or a death sentence for that matter.
His death sentence is his betrayal.
That agree.
Is inevitable.
So then, if it's inevitable, do you get out from underneath that and be proactive?
I think that in a world like the one we live in, hope is the only thing we have left. So while I know it is inevitable he betrays us, your hope and optimism he might not is refreshing.
Wow.
But we watch and we wait.
And I just kind of point because hope is not a strategy. And I'll pour myself another glass.
How did you like those girls on your birthday, by the way? They had nothing but nice things to say about you.
Woo, 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 woo. What a night. It was phenomenal.
Fantastic.
They stayed a little too long the next morning, but sometimes that's how it goes. You're attached, and you gotta cut that tie.
I'm pleased.
I clink again.
All right. So what is Eyes looking to do for your first downtime action? As you walk out of Fritter's apartment with a spring in your step.
It's a grand question. 'Cause I feel like I've done a lot already.
Yeah, I mean this could be simple. This could be simple as stress reduction if you want to either do your hobby or if you want to indulge in your vice, reduce stress. Those are always good. Or train.
So I guess the question for you is, do you consider the work I'm doing with Snake to be part of the long-term project, or do you feel like that's separate?
You know what? I think if you want to roll on that, I think that that very much makes sense. Use that. Yeah, use that as your roll. Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
Okay, so I forgot how to roll things.
So I think this is going to be. Do you think this is a sway or a consort?
Let's see.
This is about your interaction with him.
Sure. Let's see. It would help if I was in character mode. Okay, so I'm gonna go sway on this one.
Yeah, because it feels like you're lying to him, trying to get something that's your way. So let's roll a sway and then see what he finds out for you. This will be some information he comes back with.
All right. Risky
standard works. Yep, because we're just looking for the number on these.
Yeah. Do I get a bonus die?
Yes, because you included an NPC.
Great.
A named NPC. Jeez. Okay, so let's talk about your clock. What were you? It was a 4-turn clock? Or was it a 6-turn clock?
I feel like it was a 6. Well, let's see. Actually, I only have a 4-turn clock on here.
Okay. Do you have one of those portions filled up?
I do.
Okay. To your amazement, to your utter astounding amazement, Vryn is on one-track mind and comes back to you before too long and says that he has found Darlene, this woman you look for. You gave him an address and he basically went and hunted down that address and then followed her as she moved from place to place, and can give you the address of where she is now. We won't have to go into it now, but he explains her and what she looks like to confirm that that's her.
Got it.
And you just filled up your clock.
Wow.
A double 6 is a critical. Six is a critical, and so that makes sense.
Holy
so he basically, and then he asks, so we can deal with this next time, but he's asking, we basically end with him. He gives you the name, he gives you the what she looks like, and then he says, are we done?
There's a mighty long pause as he's just like completely maybe Eyes is not a typically speechless individual, and he'll how in the hell are you that much better at this than me? I've been looking for this for a year, and you found it in what, 8 days?
It's because they know you. They don't know me.
You're right. That's a really good point. So, as far as this, we're done. Almost. I kind of put my hands on it, like you're like kind of like massaging his shoulders a little bit. Oh, you're so close. You're so close.
All right.
When I will, you will receive a note.
Okay.
Note will have an address on it. That address will get you out of the city, and you're done.
All right. I think that's where we'll end. He'll grab that. He'll kind of shake his head greedily and go back. And now he has that same spring in his step that you just left Fritter's apartment with. He now has the spring in his step as he walks out. You think he looks like he's a little, even feels like a little bit younger and got a little spry in his step. He's doing good.
As he walks up the stairs and closes the door, I just go, motherfuck. That's it.
All right. So that's our one. Let's go around and do the other downtime, and then anyone else has the conversations, and then we'll talk about where we go from here. Preacher, do you want to go? Do you want to start us off again, or was that Miss Corbin start us off last time? I forget.
I believe I did.
I do believe you did too. Okay, so Preacher, you now have the mask. You understand its link to an entity called Father of the Abyss. What that is and what's going on, you don't know, but you know that entity knows of Satara, and definitely there's a link there. What is your second downtime activity going to be?
My second activity is going to be a little bit more boring. I think I'm just going to indulge in a hobby just to try to lower some stress. I think that was one of your rulings, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, it was. So indulging a hobby is what we say -3 stress.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Straight -3. What is Preacher's hobby?
Preacher's hobby is actually. God, I had this decided and then I just completely forgot what it was. Wow, I am amazing at role playing.
You are though.
But you are
totally blanked out. I see Preacher as like a worker of like wood, like that.
Okay.
That sort of like relaxing habit. He has his tattoos, and he can make something that's physical and ugly beautiful. One of the few things in the world where his touch can actually make anything better, at least in his eyes, because he feels like everything else that's in his life just goes to hell when he's interacting with it. But with a knife and a piece of wood and some time and thought and care, you can create some beautiful things.
Yeah, everything that is wooden is super old at this point, or super valuable. And there is an art to taking something that is ancient and bringing it back to life. And Preacher has that ability with care and time. And the whole time, it's almost like it's a mind blank for you and leaves your mind to be able to think about where Ezekiah is, what Father of the Abyss is, what is this thing, because it's not certainly not a person. What is this thing's interaction with Satara, and how did it know her name? And the time passes, and hours pass, and what was something ugly or broken turns into something else entirely that is completely unrecognizable and is beautiful. Okay.
Well, see, that's a dove of all things.
It's a dove.
Something free.
Absolutely.
Of this
and
world.
Yep. Absolutely. That's awesome.
And
all right.
I would like, if I could, I'd actually like to speak with Miss Corbin for a few minutes.
Absolutely. Go for it.
Since the last time that her and I had met, she had told me that I needed to dress myself up a little bit and be a little bit more classy. So I went and I bought a new shirt, got a little bit more cleaned up, and see if maybe we can meet at one of the finer bars, pubs.
Mm-hmm.
If she'll indulge me.
Mm-hmm. She'd be more than happy to.
Take it away.
This is how the higher class lives, apparently.
It's not that different. It's a little... Stuff is slightly better, but it's the air of superiority that they really get off of here.
I think it's the air entirely. It's a little less foul over here.
There's some foulness here. It's not the one we're used to, but all the same.
Apparently we're going to be
Same people, different clothes.
Be getting the stench of a dog track here before too long. Miss Corbin, I know that you're going to be able to lead us through this little endeavor, because the rest of us have no fucking clue what we're doing with it. I think that's pretty clear. My question is, and please don't take this the wrong way, but what are you doing here exactly? Why are you in this life?
Direct question. Well, it's to climb, live here, enjoy all this, and get to the top. That's why I'm here.
But you're such a charismatic and frighteningly intelligent person. You could have gone through some sort of politician route. I know you could have, and gotten there a lot quicker than this route, and a hell of a lot safer, let's just say, for that matter. Well, maybe not. Some politicians do have a lot of knives to their backs, I suppose. Mostly from people like us. But this just seems a gross misuse of your talents to me. So is it a thrill?
Do you think me some sort of higher society that gets off of playing with dangers that come with the lower classes?
Frankly, Miss Corbin, I don't know anything about you. That's sort of the point of all this. I've stayed up quite late, actually, just sort of bounding it around in my head, and for the life of me, I don't understand your motivations.
Well, then entertain me this one thing. This one. What do you think? What have you heard?
Well, that's the thing. I haven't heard a whole lot. I'm not sure if it's... No, it's not a sense of superiority, and I really don't think it's some sort of sick thrill you get out of all this. And that's what troubles me the most, is I can't peg exactly what it is.
Well, I can put your mind at ease in at least one thing. I'm not a demon, if that's what you're asking. Human.
No, because
Not running around in a skin suit of that sort of thing. I know a little bit about what you do, but not enough.
Frankly, I've had a much easier time understanding and speaking with demons than I've had speaking with you. Because I can understand them a little bit better. Understand their motivations. You're frightening. Don't get me wrong. You are a frightening individual. But it's not because I feel like you're going to take any sort of power from me. I think you have all the power in the city inside you. And you're cold and calculating. And none of this is meant to be some sort of slander against you, I promise.
None taken. Take it as a badge of honor that... That's one of the things, is that you get a lot done when people wondering what you are. And what brings you to this? You have the air of an academic, someone who should, by all rights, should be in the college. Why here?
I suppose it's really all the spirits. I don't find it fancy trying to take someone's life from them, even their afterlife. I don't enjoy the thought of hunting or tracking down, even though sometimes it's necessary in a line of work to get some sort of conclusions or misgivings about what's happened. I feel what little bit of life that we're allowed to live, if we can spend it just a little bit longer around the ones that we love, even if that means it's beyond the grave, who are we to rob people of that small gift? As for me not being in some institution, well, I ain't much of a teacher. To be honest, I ain't much of a preacher at that matter. I don't really have much good advice, and I sure as hell don't follow the ones that I give out. I just don't think I have any other skills at this point except speaking with the ones that are past at this point. Because I understand them a little bit better than most living at this point.
I think you undervalue your talents. Because the living are vastly outnumbered by the dead.
That's quite true.
And the dead are not quiet. Certainly not outside the lightning barrier. People would like to talk to them or keep them quiet. Either one is a powerful thing.
Isn't that a beautiful thing that no matter at what stage we are in our living lives, there's going to be someone out there who knows our secrets. And even in death, we're willing to pay for their silence. Be honest, Miss Colvin, I don't know how much my skills are of value anymore. I pretty much signed them over to something else at this point.
Well, maybe that's the point. To get yourself in a situation that you alone account for yourself. No higher powers, no bosses, no society to keep you in check.
You know, I've been searching for this boy of mine for some time now.
Family?
My blood son, yes. I'll be honest, Miss Coleman, I don't know what I'm going to do if I do find him.
Strained relations? That sort of thing.
I'm afraid it's going to be something even worse than I could ever imagine to be. And I'm just going to lose him again anyway. Sort of teasing myself, I suppose. I don't feel like I have any power to really control the situation. And it's very frustrating.
And you would like him found. And perhaps mend.
I don't know if I want to really amend for things or just take ownership for my failings. I think there's a big difference between the two things. Acceptance of fault. I don't expect to build any bridges with the boy. I just want him to know that I understand what a fuck up I was. I spent a long time trying to get rid of that, what's inside of me. And I think I'm just starting to understand how to do that, but a lot of blood on my hands in the meantime. It's a really nice bar.
Yes, it is. Everything here is, although overpriced and a little watered down. What was the name of your boy?
Ezekiah.
Keep my ears open if anything happens to come across. You'll be the first to know.
Well, with your connections, I think I'm more interested in a different type of name. Spirits of the Damned. There was a entity I'd spoken to who had brought the name up to me, and at first I thought he was just speaking of other spirits and of other poltergeists or ghouls, who knows, but now I'm beginning to think perhaps this is a organization all of itself, or perhaps a long dead past god with some worshippers. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with the name.
Well, there's certainly no shortage of those running around.
You're a hell of a lot smarter than the rest of us, and I think if anybody could find it, it would be you.
Well, people don't. Certainly the spirit wardens would think so. That should stay away from them. But spirits, gods, whatever they are. Valuable currency around here. Valuable power to have. Especially when you're dealing with groups that outsize you. So, if you are interested in them, I will look for that as well.
I don't think I ever crossed any spirit that I feared any more than I would have feared any living person. And they're just as terrible, perhaps worse. The living have an agenda. Damn, it is really nice here.
Think about it. If the dog races do well, we'll be able to have this, but under our control. Entertain our guests.
Little, sort of point up at some of the chandeliers or something that are hanging down. A little gaudy in some places, I suppose, but I think we could make a fine place for this in the Ash Syndicate.
Certainly. Projection power is everything. Whether it's real or not.
Anything else? No.
Just quietly drink.
Yep, drinks and dinner passes with pleasant conversation, and look around and know that you're vastly out of place as you sit here, and yet something feels right about it. Something feels attainable out of it. Miss Corbin, your second downtime action. What is it going to be?
I would like to reach out to our contact with the hive.
Yes, Kiss Finn. It's the lady's name.
Invite her to the one of the luxury boxes.
Okay. So Kess is the one that orchestrated the management of the hive. Is this the conversation where you asked them, or has that already happened?
Oh, I think I know. It's happened, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Kess definitely meets you at one of the luxury boxes on one of the nights of the track, and is again short, cropped hair, very serious, sharp angle face, very super intelligent, super. She is a person doesn't mince words. She just says here's pretty straightforward, but knows the angles, knows people, knows what she's doing. Very, very focused on those type of things. Projects power. Absolutely. So where is Miss Corbin when Kess walks in?
I think she's waiting in the box.
Okay.
She's had like a few drinks, lunch ready.
Mm-hmm.
I trust the turnover has gone well. Having to cut the system that our friend left and start anew. Hopefully, one that'll be more profitable is going well.
Well is a word. It is not. It is going. When you have run something in the ground for as long as he had, it's hard to get the ship turned back around and hunt the Leviathan you want. But we're getting there, and we will be there before too long. Absolutely.
Yes. Oh, and the help that you and your associates have given has been invaluable in getting something of this scale running smoothly and hopefully fruitfully.
It is what we do. Yes.
I'm here for a little bit of bookkeeping for our first job. I'm hoping that you and your associates found that satisfactory as well.
Yes, absolutely. We were able to with recompense, offload that back to its rightful owner. They are very happy with us for doing so and happy with you all for helping them. But they are very pleased on how that went.
Oh, good. And I hope they are very displeased with the rates.
Well, absolutely.
Of course.
As are we all.
Yes, they are quite the thorn in this burrow. It's hard enough to keep eyes in the back of your head, hoping that someone's listening in or getting ready to steal something, but they certainly bit off a little more they can chew by certainly as much ambition as some of us have. Going after the Leviathan hunters was biting off a little more than they could chew, or any of us could. Gods.
I think Sven looks around at the racetrack and then looks back at you and says, ambition can be a gift and a curse at the same time.
Yes.
The intelligent part is knowing which is which and how much risk you wish to take.
Yes, that's down to the point. Know the risk that you're about to take. Know when you're fighting above your station.
Absolutely. So I have a few minutes. What is it that I can help you with?
It's that station that I was asking about. We've done good work for your group.
Mm-hmm.
You have a little bit of a little share in this endeavor. And I trust we've run a tight ship with our group and have proved that our services can be relied on and can be reliable. And with being the new part owner of this establishment, I was wondering if you could put in a good word with the board.
And what would be the purpose of that?
Oh, as I am now a business owner in Night Market, I am politely requesting a seat at the table. I am not expecting anything now. They have to review and see how things go, but I would like that opportunity, however long it takes. I'm just here to show my interest.
I think there are always seats that can be made available for the right person, or that are made available in other ways. That is something that we are always looking for: the enterprising and the daring to help us out with. So I think I definitely know your name. I think we should have some follow-up conversations and talk about where this is leading.
Of course. I'm gracious and patient as well as ambitious, so however long it takes. But I look forward to whatever business arrangements we have in the future. And she'll look around.
Yeah. Kes says, absolutely, and does a little cheers and takes a few minutes to talk with you for a few minutes and leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Mechanically, is this a long-term project?
This is a long-term project,
Okay.
yes.
So let's go ahead and do it an 8-turn clock.
Okay.
If you look under clocks, you can.
Yeah, there we go. I see
Yeah,
them.
you can plus and then make it a 4, 6, 8, 10, or 12. I think
There
this is
we
an
go.
8-turn. And that's going to be, seat at the board. Seat at the table, something like that. And then let's go ahead and roll to see where you're at right now after this conversation.
Okay.
Holy cow.
I am going to push myself for this.
Okay. So whatever you get is going to push that level up to the next level.
Okay. Let's do it. Okay, I have not rolled incredibly well, but
yeah,
that sells something.
All right, so that's going to move it up from a 1 to a 2.
Okay.
On this pie pieces. So with a
boy.
failure 1 to 3, you would have gotten 1. 4 to 5, you would have gotten 2. So this moves it from a 1 to 3 to a 4 to 5. So you fill in 2 pieces of the pie. So your initial introduction, your statement that you want one, is there. God, you all, this is completely just awesome. Just out of left field, awesome, and I love it. All right, where's our next scene take place? Fritter, is that you?
I think it's me. Yeah, I think it's time for Fritter.
Fritter time.
It's always time for Fritter.
There's always time for Fritters. All right, so where's Fritter?
Fritter, I imagine it's kind of late feeling in the day, and she is heading to a cemetery or something that.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Yeah, so let's talk about what cemeteries look like in Dustwall. So in Dustwall, the spirit wardens come and they claim a body through the Death Seeker crows. They take the body and they basically exhume it into electroplasm in order to keep the spirits away. And even if the spirits have fled from the body, they would still take the body and cremate them in electroplasm. But there has to be memorials or things like that, memorial walls or something. What you tell me? What is this? Let's make it up.
So I like the idea of it being sort of like a war memorial, and that you don't know who the flowers are for.
Yeah.
Or whatever is left behind is for. And so she'll just kind of go to one of those on the block or in the neighborhood, with just kind of a bag of probably treats, like a little basket of treats, and just go and stand at the wall. I would say this is a stress reducer, but I only have 1 stress, so I don't know if that's really that advantageous for me. And so I don't know if there's some other benefit to my character.
We could bring it into a train in some way. So if you want to train for something, that gives you another flag toward a pip in insight, prowess, or resolve, because you all are. Let's see. If you train in prowess, that's the physical. So that's finesse, prowl, skirmish, or wreck. That probably doesn't sound quite right.
I was gonna say attune.
Okay.
Attune would be like kind of, she's like steeped in a memory.
Absolutely. So this would give you a train, a experience flag to put in resolve
Sure.
in that bucket. So no, I think that's great. Okay.
Perfect.
So what happens?
So she's going to go to the little plaque that has her husband's name on it, and she will just stand there and ruminate on her memories and her what her life was like when he was still alive. And effectively, her conversation with Jason left her thinking about the last time that she had hope as like a genuine emotion, which was definitely when her husband was still alive. So she's just kind of letting herself feel those emotions.
Absolutely. And there are other people around that are keeping a respectful distance, doing much the same. This place is, I would say there's at least one of these in each one of the boroughs to keep it kind of local feeling. And so this is like hallowed ground to everyone because everyone has lost people here in Duskwall. And there is a common respect that is given to these walls and the spirits that can still sometimes linger around them as their loved ones come to visit, especially the newly dead. Okay. Anything else?
Well, I think as she's standing there, a familiar person will approach. And I don't want to take that from you. So however you wish to do that, you may.
I think Miss Corbin arrives with a small bottle of alcohol that she leaves at one of the she just places it like in a random spot and looks at it, and then she notices Miss Fritter.
When Fritter sees you, she'll give you your space to have your mourning or to have your memories. And then she'll kind of casually wait by the door or near the exit.
And then she'll walk. She'll. It's fairly quick, but she'll meet you and well wishing to the lost, I presume.
Shall we walk?
I don't see why not. It would be a pleasure.
Miss Fritter is going to actually like offer you her arm, like to walk linked in arms.
Yeah. I think Miss Girl will.
Yeah.
It's her demeanor is different than when she was interacting with Preacher. It's a little bit warmer.
Yeah. No, for sure.
It's much for her. Yeah.
For sure. As they walk, I feel like in a very comfortable, known sort of silence that isn't presumptuous or fake or anything like that. She'll just kind of take a deep breath and look at you. I don't want you to ever doubt how proud I am of you.
I could never keep one on you, could I?
I consider you to be the greatest joy that we have. And I know you will do great things.
Well, can't tell me how proud that makes me, considering I never knew my parents at all. Didn't
know.
have any.
We all have parents. It doesn't mean that they do us anything or are worthy of the title. But you, my dear, you achieved something that they didn't. You have meaning and purpose.
Well, guess that makes me one of the lucky ones then. How's it?
I think we're the lucky ones. And
Well,
Fritter's going to pull something out of her pocket that she did not leave. And it's like a small sort of call it like a small bowl, kind of like this, that has like little sachets of tea and things like that in it that are very high end. And she'll hand that over to you and just say, for when you need to have a moment.
of course, thank you. Can I ask you one thing?
Of course.
Did you ever come to the cemetery, and say something for Nat? Or did you always know?
What do you mean exactly?
Oh, there's so many of them, but when I just disappeared one day, never came around. You see, I died, or
I have a feeling that when you die, if I'm still alive, I will know. But I didn't think you died. And I made sure that I was right.
well, that warms my heart. Well, certainly that's something of a goal now, is when either of us do pass along, we will have a name in there, not just be one of the masses that they just have this ghastly tree or memorial to because they don't want to spend the time to put the names. They will know that we lived.
Dying, my love, is really an act for the living. And we will mourn. But you shouldn't think about that now. We have so much more to do before that happens.
Absolutely. We still have to put our names around here. Hills to climb.
You have mountains to move, my love. I am just more of an interested observer. But
that certainly is a place where you're not bothered, isn't it?
I don't mind it.
Well, if they don't know, they won't come looking. I should know. I had a good teacher on that.
I'm quite proud of you, my love. And she'll like take your face and kiss your forehead.
She'll let that happen.
Yeah.
She'll give you a smile.
Good night, my dear.
Take care. Take care of all of them.
I do.
And then she'll slip back into her posh accent again. It's like, farewell. Good night.
And Miss Ritter will head home.
All right. Thank you. And eyes.
How the fuck am I supposed to follow that? That was incredible.
That's why I didn't say anything in between.
Whew, wow, that was awesome. Okay. On Miss Ritter's journey back home, she is when she gets home, Eyes will be there waiting.
Okay.
He's still wearing his long, typical purple trench coat. He's actually like not even like initially making eye contact, kind of looking off into the city. But he's got this large, on his left hand, this large piece of parchment. Evening.
Surprise.
A bit, and you're not the only one that's been surprised today. So I come as an unexpected follow-up to our earlier conversation.
Do we need to have a drink for this?
He kind of reaches in, pulls out a flask. Yes, we also, to add to this, yes, of course.
Let me put the kettle on. Go on. What do you need to follow up about?
So, oh, this was so much cooler when I didn't have to worry about the ramifications of this decision. I was expecting, so this job that I was having our mutual acquaintance on was something that he was taking over for me, something I've been working on for over a year. And he has the nerve to figure it out in less than 2 weeks. And you know what I have in my hand? This man's death warrant. All I have to do is give you the address. If I wanted to, that'd be it. So now, do I let him go, assuming that he will betray me and regret it later, or confront the fact that I'm a fucking coward and send you to take care of him?
Okay. She's going to take kind of a deep breath and situate herself a little bit. Before we get too excited about this, have we verified any of the information he's provided you is correct?
Like he like like sinks back for a second. No.
Okay. So he provided you with Darlene's address, correct? Like he told you he found her?
Yes.
Okay. Let's say, for the sake of this conversation, I know Darlene's address.
Okay.
I can verify that for you immediately.
Did you know Darlene's address?
That's not the right question. How long have I known Darlene's address is probably the right question.
Like his head like just like falls into his hands. Oh my god. Oh my god, I haven't even been I've been so frustrated.
I know.
I've been so focused. I didn't even think to ask. Why would I think you even your contacts? Of course, the kids. Of course, I didn't want to ask though. I didn't. I thought it was too forward.
No. Don't go. Calm down. Calm down. So I didn't find Darlene's address to give to you. This was not something that I did as an act of mercy or to get you to kind of absolve yourself. I did that to make sure that your son was okay and to make sure he was being provided for.
I like, as soon as she even mentions him, I completely interrupt the conversation. Is he okay?
I don't know. I need to roll for that. So what do you want me to, how do I roll for that? How would I know? What do you think? Nathan, your call.
He is okay. So this is
your son's totes fine.
Yeah. Now, again, is he in the best situation? Probably not. But you've seen him. He is a happy, healthy child, because that's what we're going to think of as children.
Okay.
So in this instance, he is okay.
So I will just communicate that to you and say, like, he might have a few new items of clothing and a few toys that kind of appeared on the stoop, but he is not in danger. If I thought he was in danger, I would have made sure he was removed.
I almost asked you to kill a man for information that you already had.
No, see, you asked me if it was okay for you to feel like you should kill a man. That's a different situation. I don't want to kill the man because of anything related to you. I think whether or not he gave you good information is the point. I'm more than happy to verify that for you. And then we can come back to you being upset with me that I didn't tell you about the woman who wants nothing to do with you and the fact that your son's okay. We can come back to that later, but we can deal with the matter at hand.
I reach into my trench coat again and I show her the address to see if it matches up.
Nathan, what do you think? Okay.
Okay.
You're in luck. Your morality is tested again tonight.
I slink back into the chair, very just. I don't even. But he's okay?
Your boy?
Yeah, Joseph, he's okay?
He's fine.
You, eyes when he wells up with tears, he, because the lights that are coming out of his eyes actually almost flicker, you're almost like a turning signal. I've been thinking about this for so long. And I know that it is not smart for me to just go right over there and talk or pillage.
I think if you want your boy in your life and you want to do this the right way, I can help facilitate this. I know the right people to talk to, and I know the things that might make it easier for your son to be placed in your care.
She would never allow that.
Things like this, it's just so much easier if the parents aren't involved. I don't believe that she is providing the best situation for him. Unfortunately for you, you live near someone who's a well-known caregiver in this community and happens to have an apartment vacancy just right upstairs. Another neighbor took a vacation. So I can have them move in. And
I just big hug.
You touch me?
Absolutely.
Oh God.
I tried to. Absolutely. 100%.
This is exciting. You feel like I look like I'm dressed like normally, like I've got like a nice sweater on and everything. And nice is not true, but I've got a well-kept sweater on, and you can feel that I have like my tactical vest on underneath it, and I'm armed and like, yeah. So don't mind the ladle. Okay.
I like kind of like gathering all that. I like, sorry.
Okay.
I know forward. Sorry.
It's okay. Don't do it again. So
Totally. Never again.
let's regroup for a second. We need to devise a plan on what to do with your boy. You renamed him something. It sounds stupid, but what is it again?
Oh, Snick? Yes, great.
Yeah, Snickers. So Snickers needs to either die or leave Duskfall. So your choice.
Oh, wow, we're back. Okay. I was lying. I was totally at the time going to be totally cool with the fact that like you were going to kill him, and then like it's never going to get back to me, and selfish. But given the circumstance and all of this, I'm confronting the fact that I almost went this far, and I'm super not okay with it. Having said that, I want him to continue breathing.
Why don't we do this? Let's bring him back to the apartment he was in previously.
Okay.
And we have a conversation with him about his future. I promise on my life, I will not hurt him unless he draws first blood.
Kind of told him that the next time that he gets a note, it'd be the address that seals his freedom.
This is accurate. This is the address that will seal his freedom.
All right.
So why don't we do that? And then next time we can sit down and have a chat with your boy Snickers, and we will figure out a way for you to be okay.
Just us two? Probably not everybody.
To be fair, I think it should just be you, and I will be there. I feel you have successfully saved his life, and he should know that.
Twice.
Oh, that's true. That is true. He owes you a great debt. And you can say that Darlene's address is payment due. So that's fine with me. I defer to you and what you can live with.
Do you have a cigarette?
I have cigars.
Yep, perfect.
Fantastic. So you don't know what a Cuban is, but if you had a mind of what it was, she definitely has a humidor that's full of weirdly branded cigars, and she hands you one, and she hands you the cutters, and she's expecting you to know how to do it all yourself.
Tobacco is grown in Aruvia, far to the south, and is brought in dried and ready to be rolled, and it is something enjoyed just like a fine meal. It is something to be enjoyed with friends and those close to you. All right, Eyes, what is your last downtime action mechanically?
He is going on another bender.
Okay.
Because this shit was stressful as a fuck.
Yep. I definitely understand that. Yeah. Okay. So let's roll up that. Let's roll up your indulge vice. What stress are you at now?
I'm actually doing pretty good, I think.
How many stress do you have?
I'm at 2.
You're only, so if you overindulge, if what you get is over that, then bad things will happen, including some bad things. So mechanically, if you're okay with that,
I am
that's
very
fine.
okay with that.
Okay. All right. Then roll it up.
Narratively, it just makes a lot of sense. He got the one thing he's been looking to do for as long as he can remember.
Yeah.
And then like having that conversation just put him over the top. So yeah, 100%. Let's see.
All right. So 4. So erase all your stress, and you get to choose one of these. I'll let you choose because this is a choice. Did eyes attract trouble, which means we roll another entanglement, and I'll do it in secret and bring it out later. Do you brag about what you've done, which would give you +2 heat? Or are you tapped? Basically, your current purveyor cuts you off. Find a new source, which just means stuff got real bad at the Two Cats, where you're going to celebrate and they need you to stay away from a little bit. I'll let you choose.
Oh man. I kind of love, because we are fans of making shit complicated right here. I kind of love the fact that like him, that's next staying alive was the wrong decision. And I think if we can go that far, that's kind of what I want to do.
Okay. All right.
Because like, and that can resolve itself in many ways.
Yep. No,
I will leave that to you, sir.
I will call that an entanglement, and we will let that resolve as it plays out. All right. Any other downtime actions?
Yes, I would like to use my third to indulge vice.
Okay.
So
go right ahead. What is Miss Corbin's vice? Did we talk about that last time?
Yes, it is stupor. So she visits her friend Roland, and they have a quiet smoke in his office usually.
Okay. Oh, yes. I remember this from last time. Exactly. All right. So what stress is Miss Corbin at?
6.
All right. So go ahead and roll it up.
Okay. Lowest one?
It's 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So 3 stress.
Excellent.
All right. So take off 3. So you'll be at 3.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else before we close these scenes?
I think that's it.
No? All right, so next time we're about to finish up, but next time what we're going to do is go into a score where our daring crew is going to go after a piece of turf in order to basically claim another piece around where either the racetrack or somewhere else will decide. So in the meantime, we'll talk about what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, and get it all set up for next time. But it's going to be... we're going to let Miss Fritter loose on this one, I believe, and see what can be done in that respect. I think that was the call for this one. So that's where we'll head for the next time. We'll start the next score. We'll talk in the meantime. We'll start the next score with the engagement roll and with our PCs trying to claim a piece of turf in order to get their name out there and become a little bigger, a little quicker. And we'll talk about mechanically next time. For now, I guess let's go around, if everybody's okay, let's go around and say who we are, who we played, and where else we can be found. Who'd like to go first?
I'll go first since... sure.
Hold on. Sorry. I forgot this last time, and I want to make sure we do this. My bad. I want to make sure we get this. So faction mode. How all this has affected other factions. So on the third sheet, we made pluses and minus, and I want to make sure we get that done. Because of your work with stealing the racetrack out from under the Scovlanders, the Scovland consulate under institutions are going to give you a -1. The people that came to buy the track put in an official recompense of misgivings, is whatever they want to say, and noted who was doing that. We'll see if that comes back to bite you, but the Scovland consulate now is a -1, and -1 is basically they don't like you. They're not going to go out of their way to mess with you, but they really just don't like you. Also, because of your work with the Hive and working to bring them involved into the racetrack, they're going to move to a +1. So the Hive will be a +1. The Skull One Council will be a -1. Have you all worked with anyone else that you think needs to move?
Where were we at with the crows?
Yeah, that's right. I looked at. I gave.
You
I
did
give
give
her
information about the rates, but you were already a -1, and that didn't really go. Had that been more, I would bump up the rates as well. The crows, you haven't had any as
I-
as a group, you haven't had any interactions with the crows on an individual level. Some may have, some may not, but as a group, they do not know of the Ash Syndicate. We will definitely bring them involved because they'll be looking for some money here very soon. And if they can't find it for Vren, they're going to speak to you all. Anyone else? No? All right, cool. I just want to make sure that we keep this a living document, and I didn't forget that, and I forgot that last time, so my bad. All right. Who wants to go first and lead us out?
Yeah, I did, because I have to say that I am involved with a lot of different streams, and I have to tell you, this by far, and I love everyone that I work with on all the other ones, so this is my fucking favorite. I'm serious, because I mentioned it in the chat, but I wanted to say it out loud. Like, getting to be both a fan and a player in this is overwhelmingly like a phenomenal experience. So I just wanted to just say that out loud. So thank all 4 of you for being amazing. So
Thank you. Yeah.
That being said, hi, I am Jacob. I am overwhelmingly Duval King Jacob on the internet. I'm tired. That was a lot. You can typically find me as the host and dungeon master of Duval and Dragons on every other Sunday on twitch.tv/SoMetaGames. Tuesdays, twitch.tv/Thread Raiders at 9:30 Eastern Time, playing a D&D 5e game called Geek Attack. Saturdays, Icewind Dale with some guy named Corey, who's really, really awesome. Nobody knows who that is, though. No, just kidding. He's fantastic. You should watch it. It is getting fucking crazy. We're gonna die. It's gonna be awesome. Other than that, I am phenomenally happy to be here every Wednesday. It's a fucking pleasure.
All right. And Sean or Hannah, who wants to go next?
Oh, okay, I can go. Yeah, all right. Oh god, this was a blast. I love everyone's characters and how we're like everyone has like their own like little webs, and it's great. It's gonna be great when somebody like comes after us. It's gonna be wonderful mess. Look forward to it. But yeah, I'm Shauna Flanksters on Twitter and pretty much every place else. You can check there for the art that I do and the games that I play, including I did art for the recent released Spy Game, a espionage-themed 5e game. And I am going to be on tomorrow on WebDM. It's Reality Raiders 3, a Torg Eternity stream. So that's been a lot of fun. We fought dinosaurs, stockbrokers, and it's been a wild. Everyone, it's pure 80s and explosions and stuff. It's great. And on Saturday on Level Up Dice, it's a Scion game where everybody's playing like small demigods who just discovered that they're gods, and I play a college student kitsune, so that should be fun.
All right, thank you. And Hannah?
I'm Hannah. You can find me on Twitter at StopThatOldWoman. I play in this game, and then Saturday night I'm in a Star Warsy game on this channel with Josh Saevrick. And so we are also in that game together. That's all I have.
All right.
I also really like being here.
And I also like being here. Hey everybody, I'm Nathan. I've been the narrator and I use that in the loosest term possible, especially tonight, for these wonderful people. I will say this: I'm still a new GM. I've only been GMing for a little over a year and a half or so, and it is still a anxiety, nervous inducing panic every time I GM, and it can feel very lonely to GM, and it can feel very strange. But there are groups and games that stick with you and hit you and are just a part of you. And this is becoming one of them if it hasn't already from me. It is a game that I will always remember already. If we played no more, I would still remember each one of you and the characters and what you've done. And it is a testament to why we all play. It is what we are all searching for, and it seems like we found it here with you all. And I cannot thank you enough. And I love that everyone is here watching and listening and giving us feedback and talking to us. It's amazing to see other people's reactions as well. But if you do nothing else, find people and a game that will let you feel like this, 100%. And sorry, other crap. I'm he, him, and my Twitter is not another Nate. So yell at me if you want to talk Blaze in the Dark or anything RPGs or anything else. I'm always down to talk. All right, Saevrick.
I don't know how I'm supposed to like follow you guys today. You make these wonderful speeches and like, oh, by the way, here, hand this off to everybody else. Anywho, tonight I've been Saevrick. I've been your player and your best friend. Had a lot of fun tonight. God damn it, this has been such a fun game for me. I think like the second episode, I was like, hooks are in. I'm good from here on out. Gosh, you think we'll be like, what, episode 5 next week? It's like a third of the way through what we initially said already, and it's like it's too fucking soon.
I really feel like this is going to be a long-term campaign, and we just don't know it yet. So
Yeah,
so we're all there.
Starting to feel that way. This has been so much fun for me. This is probably seriously like Jacob had said, it's been probably my favorite game. Honestly, of the last 3 years, like being a player in a game, this has been by far my favorite game I've played in. Yeah. Really enjoyed everybody here. Everybody's so damn talented. Fuck. When you think you have some like good scene with somebody, then like you see the next one coming, you're like, oh god, I'm glad I didn't go after that one. Because each one's better as it goes along, as we develop these relationships and get to understand these characters a little bit better, and it's amazing. I look so forward to these downtimes we have. They're so fucking fun. Anyway, it's well after 11 here, so I should probably let everybody out of here. Hannah already told you where you can find us at because we're playing the same game, so I don't have to really go over that again. So if you'd like to stop by Saturday, 7 p.m., I believe is what time it is. 7 p.m. We're playing some more Star Wars. So if you'd like to come check that out, D20 system should be interesting. I have no idea where we're going to go with Saturday, so that's going to be a mystery even to me. So, with that, anybody else have anything they'd like to say before I let everybody go for the evening?
I am verklempt.
I feel that.
Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks everybody for coming by, for watching. And as always, we will see you next time. See ya. Bye-bye.